Hey there, gentle gardeners, and welcome back. Katie at Journey Seeds and Love here. And before we begin the video, I want to say thank you for showing up on the channel today. All right, we are on lesson number 10 of The Magic Path of Intuition by Florence Scovel Shinn. This is the last lesson of this wonderful little book. So, as always, I do invite you to listen for affirmations and to test these affirmations to see how well they might fit for you and for your life. All right, without any further ado, lesson number 10. All that the fourth dimension affords is yours. You will obtain magic results when you really give this supreme intelligence the right of way. The fourth dimensional world is the world of perfect ideas. As these ideas are established in consciousness, they must come forth on the external, for your world is crystallized thought. Most people have crystallized wrong conditions, for they have served fear instead of faith. It takes a great stretch of the imagination to believe that life can be made perfect, free from all unhappy experiences. Then, when you do believe it, it takes a great effort of will to keep on believing when all outward appearances are against you. Judge not by appearances. All miracles are found upon this idea. We can change conditions only by not believing or being undisturbed by appearances. I said to a woman who was in great distress, "None of these appearances fool you." It gripped her consciousness, and the divine plan of her good won out. We can no longer have the faith of a peasant. We must have an understanding of faith. Through knowledge of spiritual law, we control conditions. While talking to a student who was confronted by a financial problem, I said, "Stand aside and let God do it." She replied, "That's all there is to it?" And soon a new channel opened for her supply. Yes, that is all there is to it. Let God do it. After all your reading and studying of metaphysics and ancient philosophers, etc., you find that they are teaching you just one thing: to let God do it. Eastern philosophy says, "Let the warrior within you fight." Countless times this idea appears in all sacred writings. Northern American Indians believe that the Great Spirit is the source of their power. A woman who visited the Indians told me she had interviewed an Indian who had been running all day, carrying a message. She asked him if he did not feel fatigued. He replied, "Me no tired. Big spirit in me runs." Trusting God must become a habit, and it often takes a long time to form this habit. I was inspired by reading about Omaha, the famous racehorse in the paper. The article said Omaha had run a mile before he gets into his stride. I said at one of my meetings, "There are a lot of Omahas in this room. You have not yet got into your spiritual stride, but I see you all winning your race in the twinkling of an eye." Often discontent keeps you from getting into your stride. You are dissatisfied with yourself and conditions. You wish you were someone else. How wonderful to be a beautiful movie star or a heiress of countless millions. On one of my trips to London, I saw advertised the wonderful title of a song. It was called "I'm Tickled to Death with Me." The first start toward success is to be glad you are yourself and know that the ground you are on is holy ground and that you expand into the divine plan of your life. In the divine plan, every righteous desire of the heart is satisfied. You are the leading lady in your life's scenario. You never take a back seat in the fourth dimension. The divine plan unfolds through following intuition. Claude Bragdon says, "To live intuitively is to live fourth dimensionally." The magic path leads you out of the house of bondage and into your promised land. It is the path of destiny, where your failures are transmuted into successes and handicaps prove stepping stones. I heard the following story over the radio, which gives a wonderful example. A man who could neither read nor write tried to obtain the position of janitor in a public school. They refused him on account of his illiteracy, so a friend got him a position selling cigars. He became very successful, selling hundreds of cigars, and deposited the money in the bank with the aid of a friend who wrote the deposit slips. After a number of years, he found he had deposited $30,000 and decided to draw some out. The paying teller said, "Write a check for the amount you want to draw out." The man replied, "I can't read or write." The paying teller was amazed and exclaimed, "Good Lord, man, you have accumulated 30,000 without an education? Where would you have been if you had been able to read and write?" The man replied, "I would have been a janitor in public school number 1. In Hyde Park Corner in London, people are permitted to mount soapboxes, collect an audience, and express their views on any subject, religious, political, or personal, saying just what they please regarding the reigning families, etc. The government thinks it is a good way to allow them to let off steam. In passing, I stopped to listen to a poor, forlorn individual who was yelling at the top of his voice, "There ain't no God, and I can prove it." I thought, you have never proved God, or you wouldn't be where you are. If I had had a copy of The Game of Life and How to Play It with me, I would certainly have laid it on his soapbox with a blessing. We prove God by showing active faith, which puts to flight all adverse appearances. There is nothing left out in the fourth dimension. I have often been asked, if the infinite intelligence supplies all our needs, why is it necessary to pray for anything? I answered, because that is the law. Man must make the first move. You must press the button in order to turn on the electric light. Many people never make big demands on the universal supply. They think it is asking too much. One woman came to me and asked, "Is it wrong to ask for the things that you really want, or should you just ask for necessities?" I replied, "What are the things that you really want?" She said, "Love and beauty." I replied, "If you desire them, they are necessities." When you have the fixed idea that there is only one power in the universe, all appearances of evil will disappear from your world. Troubles come from a belief in duality, good and evil. In getting a demonstration, we must know that the infinite intelligence is the only power. Evil comes from man's vain imaginings. I was in a restaurant with a friend who spilled something on her dress. She was sure it would leave a stain. I said, "We will give it a treatment. Evil is unreal and leaves no stains." There was never the slightest stain left on the dress. You couldn't tell where the accident had happened. In the fourth dimension, evil has never been registered. It is only in your mind that man experiences loss, lack, failure, sickness, sorrow, etc. Often people go through life resenting and disliking some particular person, thereby keeping the unhappy situation alive and harmful to mind, body, and affairs. A woman came to me full of resentment toward her niece. Whatever her niece did irritated her. She said, "All I can think about is how badly my niece cleans her silver. It seems a trivial matter, but it was reacting on her in the form of rheumatism." I said, "Send her love and goodwill and don't give her any advice. Let infinite wisdom illuminate and direct her." Much to her surprise, her niece gave the silver a wonderful shine and changed in many ways. You will obtain magic results when you really give the supreme intelligence the right of way. The tide has turned to stay, for God has the right of way. I gave this affirmation when I was speaking in California. A man in the audience came to me after the meeting and said, "This is a marvelous affirmation. I am an engineer and I know what it means to have the right of way. Desire is a tremendous power and must be rightly directed. You may desire the wrong things and conditions. So to give the supreme intelligence right of you, you must say, I desire only that which God desires through me. The wrong desire will fade out and be replaced by the right aspirations. As you look back, you will say, thank heaven I didn't get the things I desired so much when I was 18, or I wish I hadn't gotten the things I wanted at 22. You make sure your wishes are foolproof by saying, I desire the divine ideas only come to pass under grace and in perfect ways. I say in the game of life and how to play it that health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression are the square of life. See ye first the fourth dimension, and the perfect plan of your life will come to pass. You will fill the place that you can fill and no one else can fill. Righteous desires of the heart, no matter how extravagant or seemingly unattainable, will be added unto you. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Matthew 7:7. Oh, what a wonderful lesson. Lesson number 10, the last lesson in the Magic Path of Intuition by Florence Scovel Shinn. Now, we are actually going to have a bonus video on the Magic Path of Intuition next week, so make sure that you check back in for that. And as always, please like this video if you found value. It lets YouTube know that you dig what I'm putting out, and share it so others can find value also. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And if you made it this far in the video, leave me a comment and let me know which part of this lesson lit up the most areas of your brain. As always, thank you for showing up today. I really appreciate each and every one of you. That is what I have for today. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.